Hey guys, it's Fayon here from the Passive Hang. Today I want to share with you guys a floor-based organic strength drill. So this really helps develop the attributes of body organization and weight transfer, aligning the body into a position which is not in optimal alignment to help you express strength. So I really like it to warm up my body before locomotion sessions or even in a class group setting. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we're going to get started. All right, so get down into a squat position. The rules of the game are we're going to stay in this low gated squat position. So 2 points of support being your feet on the ground. You can use one of your hands so to use as 3 points of support. And what we're going to imagine is there's a big circle around us. Imagine like a compass, you know, north, south, east, west. And we're going to try and reach around this circle as far as we can using our points of support. So if you can imagine, I place my left hand down, I then reach up to the north point, touch, and then I come back. I reach over to the east point, touch, and then I come back. West, touch, and then I come back. And so you can see how I have to transfer my weight to touch these points around this big imaginary circle. And so you can start off just light and easy at first, where you just touch, you know, just close to you. No problem as you warm up. Remembering that you're going to keep your 2 points of support here relatively fixed. Your heels can lift, your balls of your feet can lift, but you can place your hand down wherever. Feeling this weight transfer through your feet onto the third point of support. Coming right over, touch, and then back down. As you warm up, you can start expanding the circle. So you can then reach further and come back. And come back. And try and make the transition smooth, going to the outside of the circle and then coming back to the center. You'll find that certain spots you'll reach too far, and then it'll be really hard to come back. So you might get stuck and you'll find your limit, fall down, and then come back. That's good. So you start mapping out how far you can transfer your weight and how far you can express strength in this awkward position. So from here, I'm still feeling strong. If I keep on moving forward even more, then I lose that. So this is the first layer of the game. Just imagine there's a big circle around you with your pointing finger. You can either do left or right. You're going to try and map around the circle, just going around, maybe even touch the same point with both hands. Coming back to center each time. That's the first layer. Okay, second layer. So say you're starting to get the ins and outs of this game, of this, and then touch. And we want to make it a little bit more difficult. So instead of now touching it just once, we can either touch it twice or we can introduce a longer hold. So maybe we have to hold that position for 3 seconds. So I touched there before. Now I'm going to have to do here and then touch, hold, and then come back. So this is now showing that I have developed more control over these positions before returning back to center. So again, I'll come over here, touch, 1, 2, 3, and then come back. Might come back here, 1, 2, 3, and come back. choose over here. 1, 2, 3, and then come back. 1, 2, 3, and then come back. So just with the change of a small little variable, suddenly the task becomes a lot harder. You might find that you might have to make your circle a little smaller now to still maintain that control, so that when you reach and then try and touch that, maybe you can't find that and you fall down, which is okay. Again, it's just finding and mapping the limits of where you can express strength. And so you might have to bring that in a bit and just come here and touch 1, 2, 3 until you can smoothly come back to center onto your flat-footed squat. So that's the second layer that you can play around with. After the touch, you can introduce a hold or even a double touch, because this will force you to then adapt and then ask a bit more control of this quite misaligned position. All right, third layer. So say you're feeling a little bit warm now, you're kind of like, I've got this. We're going to introduce another change to this task or game. So where we have been reaching over and then holding, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep this point of support, and then we're going to be tracing our finger around wherever we can explore. So you're going to pick a point to start, and then keeping this finger, you're going to try and trace around wherever you can go, keeping it light on the ground. Just mapping all the territories. And then coming back. Now you can choose a different point. Maybe I'll choose here with this right hand, transition smoothly, trace with the other finger, noticing how I'm now exploring the transfer of weight around. Whilst keeping my finger light. And coming back. It's quite difficult, this one. So you might, again, try and make the circle smaller so that you only just you have a closer, you have your 3 points of support closer to each other. That will make it easier whilst you trace the finger around. Obviously, taking it really far will make it harder for you to not only get there and trace the finger around and have options, but also coming back. See how I can't come back from that position so far? I've got to use my other hand. So this is another variable that you can play around with. Once you start warming up, you can start feeling it. You can see how I'm starting here with the straight arm position, but then to get into certain positions, I might have to get into this bent arm position and then back again. Pretty much a one arm push up, but in a very sort of awkward position. Again, this is why, it's called trying to organize your body in a way where you can help yourself to express strength in a non-optimal position or alignment. And so, yeah, this is a really nice next extra layer to really bring a challenge to this game. All right, fourth and final layer for today. What we're going to do is introduce a sense of rhythm. So where we were just coming over at our own time and tapping or holding, now we're going to try and imagine, or even better, if you play a little bit of music in the background, you're going to tap to the beat around in this imaginary circle. So you'll come over and just go tap, 1, tap, and 2, and tap, and 3, and tap, and 4, and tap, and 5, and tap, and 6. So you're going to keep this beat going where, say you got a beat going in the background or in your head, and you're going to keep on going in this consistent rhythm, not missing a beat, and mapping out this circle. Again, because now you're introducing this sense of pace, you really got to feel and be aware of how your weight is transferring from left to right, so that you can get back to this center position, where then it gives you options to go around in the circle. But you might not want to expand your circle so big so to get stuck, because if I then go really far and then come back, 1, I find it hard to come back, but then 2, I might miss my beat. So it's less about range, this one, but more about feeling the weight transfer from one spot to the other whilst being in control. So again, it's like 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2. So you can see there already, by just introducing that variable, it is a lot more stimulus on the system. You have to start thinking, you have to start reacting or responding or preparing a lot more quicker in advance. And this final layer in the game will really get your heart beating, but it will force you to think more about this element of weight transfer in the positions around you. So hope you guys enjoy this task. As you can see, there's a lot of different variables that you can play around with. I've just chosen a few, such as even like using my hand, but you could modify this to actually use your foot to touch, like so. You can have a partner leading you as well, showing you where to touch as well. A lot of different ways to change up this very simple movement task, but with being, I guess, intentional with how you use it, it can become very powerful to help you understand certain movement principles, certain ways of how you can move just around in your peripheral space. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoy that one. It's been a long time coming to upload another video, but more videos to come. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, share it with a friend if you got a lot of value out of it. And if you want more information, you can jump over to thepassivehang.com as well, where I'll be updating the website very shortly. Thanks again, guys.